Hello and welcome to the RotoWire Esports Show. My name is Ethan Sexton, and with me, as always, is DFS Chan. Chan, how are you today?
Good. How about them Fred and Breon?
Yeah. I got to give you credit, man. I think you kind of called that one yesterday.
Yeah.
You picked Fred and Breon to win. We didn't really like it for DFS, though, which was, Fred and Breon were fine. I don't think you necessarily had to have them to win today. The winning lineup in the contest I was in did have their team and a one-off with Lava in the mid lane, but it's not like their players scored otherworldly, but their team slot was – we did mention their team slot maybe as a nice one-off, and that worked out pretty good as well. So kudos to you, man. You called that one for sure.
I only mentioned Fred and Breon because I feel like the other three favorites won on the other games. So, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of a chalky slate except for that one LCK game.
Yep.
Turned out JDG owns Invictus Gaming. I mean, in game 2, JDG was up by 8-0, 9-0, something like that. I mean, it kind of looked like Invictus Gaming's last series or the series before that. I think in the second game where they had 0 kill for the first 15 minutes or so. I mean, I just feel like Invictus Gaming's mentality where they're at right now, it's not a very good place. If they lose game 1, I mean, I know IG Invictus was in the game and they should have won game 1 in my opinion. That they were in the lead for a little bit and then JDG won that one team fight and got Baron. So I mean, that's how they won. But man, it's just tough to trust Invictus Gaming when their mentality is like that in game 2 where they just go crazy and they're out of control.
Yeah, they look awful, man. And I said during game 1 when they were winning, I said, here comes IG, because this is when they love to troll us, and in a series when you think they're going to lose. And then they did, they were winning there to start, but then they just full on nosedived. And then game 2 was just a one-sided smashing from JDG, who ended up sweeping. Every series today was a sweep, including the other LCK series with Sandbox taking down DRX. DRX just remained a bad team. Sandbox doing okay, not the best scoring overall, not the worst. They were in the middle. The 2 LPL teams are the ones that really scored well, with LGD really leading the charge in their sweep of Thunder Talk. Ended up with 36 kills. GA was pretty great today for DraftKings purposes.
Yeah, they were. LGD was good for DFS and JDG was good. And then we talked about Sandbox being potentially good. And I saw in some of my contests, I think I had LGD and Sandbox stack that, won those contests. So Sandbox, I think in game 1 had 9 kills. And I was like, well, typical LCK game, maybe DRX went back to their old days of playing slow. And then game 2, boom, is 24-16. Sandbox scored really well in game 2. So, I mean, I feel like DRX with that new bottom lane and with the new mid laner, like we said yesterday, I mean, it seems like the opponents have been benefiting for DFS purposes and, with the more kill upside. Now, with the LGD and Thunder Talk, I mean, it's so frustrating to watch Thunder Talk. I mean, they really had some of the – I mean, I feel like they made good plays, especially in game 2. I mean, the first 10 minutes – Thunder Talk was in the lead. I mean, Xiao Peng was sitting on 4 kills, 4-0, and 0 death. I mean, so frustrating because, I mean, they really should have won that game in game 2, in my opinion. So, early lead, and then they should have snowballed that lead into the win, but seems like they just don't have enough talent there in terms of, going through the mid game and late game phase, and LGD, succeeded in those phases of the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like Thunder Talk's biggest issue is they're decent laners, right? They're not bad in lane in the early game. Not saying they're like world beaters or anything, but they're not bad during the laning phase. And Xiao Peng, we talk about him a lot, especially, you really like him a lot. And I agree. He looks like a pretty talented jungler who might work his way up to being on a better team going into next season. So it's not that they're awful. I think it's just their macro and their shot calling is pretty weak, and they just can't compete with other teams on that level is the main issue they have.
I agree.
Yeah. So anything else from today, Chan, before we jump into tomorrow's slate?
No, I'm ready for tomorrow's slate. Tomorrow's 5-game slate, right?
Yeah. We get a 5-gamer tomorrow. The LPL brings that extra game in on the weekends, which gives us some more some more variety, so that's not a bad thing. Kick things off in the LPL tomorrow with Team WE going up against Ultra Prime. Team WE are a minus 350 favorite. That's the second highest in terms of the odds on the slate. Seems like a pretty good matchup, pretty good spot for WE. For the most part, they're pretty expensive, though, Chan, on DraftKings. They're third-priced mid laner, third-priced support, but other than that, they're the top three most expensive plays in top lane, jungle, and AD carry. Do you like this as a sweep for WE? Do you think it's clean enough and high-scoring enough for DFS purposes to pay up for WE tomorrow?
I think it's like a kind of middle tier game that we should actually look at. I mean, I think it does definitely have a potential to blow up for kill upside. I think, Team WE should win based on their recent form and, just Ultra Prime's recent form and the stats. But I feel like Ultra Prime has been playing a little better lately. I know they have 3 wins throughout the split. I feel like they are a tier above like those really bad Victory 5 and Rogue Warriors teams in the LPL. But is that enough to be able to upset WE? I don't know. I don't think so. In my opinion, it looks like WE is starting Shanks again at mid lane, which I like a lot. I think Shanks brings more consistency for that team. So I like WE here still. In terms of the kill upside, really, I mean, Funplex, the other LPL game that we'll talk about later, Top Esports and Funplex Phoenix. Along with that game, this game rates the highest. It's number 2 on the slate in terms of kill upside. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely the matchup to target if you are considering cash or GPP purposes even. Obviously for cash, because I only say that for cash because, WE is a higher favorite, bigger favorite than, let's say, Top Esports or FPX in that other matchup with the highest kill upside. So I think it's the biggest favorite that is most likely going to win, that has a pretty good kill upside, in my opinion. So I think WE is definitely worth the consideration. And then, yeah, for GPP purposes, I would definitely consider Ultra Prime. Like I said, I mean, they have 3 wins in the season, and I feel like, they have been pretty good in terms of like team fights and all, and WE loves to skirmish. So if somehow it goes wrong and backfires against them, I feel like Ultra Prime definitely has a chance to, gain the lead and snowball there. So
yeah, I could see that. I don't think that'll happen. I like WE here, same as you, but I could see it happening. WE are a team that can have a hiccup in them from time to time and lose to a team they shouldn't. I don't expect that to happen. I think this is probably just a clean sweep for WE. They've been playing pretty well. So I think they're just going to be a little bit too much for Ultra Prime. But yeah, in a deep multi-enter, you're doing a bunch of lineups. Why not throw in an Ultra Prime in there as one of them? The next matchup, Chan, the first LCK matchup of the day, Gen G versus Hanwha Life. Hanwha Life have been better of late. Gen G remain a pretty strong team. Well, I should say they're pretty strong. They're the top seed right now in Korea. They're coming off a loss, I believe, though, to T1. If maybe I'm remembering wrong, Chan, but I think they're coming off a loss. Hanwha Life have been better, but do you like Hanwha Life to beat Gen G here? I'm not sure I do, and I'm not sure this is the matchup to target for DFS if we think Gen G are going to win.
Yeah, I have Gen G winning this as well, but I wouldn't rule out Hanwha Life's GPP purposes. I feel like when Hanwha does win, they score well, but it really depends on how you think the game's gonna be, go, and the game's gonna be dictated by whom, because Gen G scores. I mean. Statistically, they score one of the lowest. As a team, they scored the lowest amongst a lot of teams in major regions. And that's why every slate they're on, they're priced so low. Except for Ruler. I mean, Ruler's their AD carry, and he tends to score well generally, but any other player on that team doesn't score well for DFS purposes. Now, I mean, like we talked about this, but Gen G has been the best team in the LCK throughout the entire split. I know Damwon has been playing well as of recent, but I feel like Gen G has had the most consistent record throughout the split. I know, yeah, like you said, Gen G is coming off of some losses here and there, but they just beat DRX in their last series. I mean, DRX is mean, we saw this morning they're not very good, but yeah. So I mean, after they win, I mean, maybe they have confidence. And Hanwha Life on the other side of the matchup, has been gaining some form, and we think they're going to make the playoffs just based on the recent surge in their form. So yeah, I like Gen G, but I just don't think they're going to score very well. I know that I think it's more than likely that game is going to be dictated by Gen G at the end. So I feel like they're going to score well. They're not going to score well. And then even if Hanwha upsets Gen G, and I feel like it could happen, but then I still think the game's going to be dictated by Gen G's pace. So I don't think Hanwha is going to score well as that they had been against other opponents.
Yeah, I agree. Gen G just aren't the team that throw bodies and give up a lot of deaths even when they lose, right? So I'm basically chopping this one off for DFS purposes. On to the next LPL series, though, Chan. This is the biggest mismatch on the slate. Rare Atom taking on Rogue Warriors. Rare Atom 7-3, tied for third place in China, while Rogue Warriors 3-7, tied for 14th place with Ultra Prime. Rare Atom are minus 1,800 favorites, Chan. I think they deserve to be, I guess. It's a pretty big number, but they're much better than Rogue Warriors, so I get that. They're expensive though. If it's them or WE that are the most expensive plays on DraftKings. Do you think Rare Atom are in a spot where you really want to play up? We talk about them tending to be a bit of a slower team at times. I'm not sure I really want to pay up for them, but do you?
Yeah, I'm definitely not playing Rare Atom for GPP contests. They just do not have the same kill upside as any other LPL teams. And then also, frankly, some LCK teams. We joke about how Rare Atom would fit right in the LCK because they play so slow. They do have the lowest combined kills per minute, just strictly from the statistical standpoint. They have 0.79 combined kills per minute themselves, and which is significantly lower than the second to the last LPL team on the slate, Ultra Prime, at 0.87. So 0.79 is fairly low, and that's even lower than Damwon Kia's, which we will talk about in the next LCK matchup. So that tells me, I mean, in a matchup as the biggest favorite against Rogue Warriors, who, I mean, they do average a good amount of deaths, but at the same time, I just feel like Rare Atom is not going to have to do very much, and they're not going to. I feel like they're just not going to score well. But for cash considerations, cash contests, yeah, I mean, they're the biggest favorite. They're probably more than likely going to win, 80% chance, probably, in my opinion, more than that even. So, I mean, they're definitely in the cash consideration. But for GPP, I just don't see that matchup as the kill upside. I feel like I like the other two LPL matchups, and then some one other LCK matchup we'll talk about.
Yeah, let's go right to that next LCK matchup. The final two games on the slate are bangers, man. They're great games. Really, yes. On paper, they look great. So that the second LCK matchup of the day, T1 taking on Damwon Kia. T1 are up and down as they have been all year. 6-5 in fourth place. Damwon Kia 7-4, just ahead of them in third place. I find this one kind of tough to call. But I do lean Damwon Kia. I just think they've been, even with some of their struggles when Ghost was out and things like that. Now that Ghost is back, I feel like they're playing at a higher level than T1 again. And I do see I need to change the expected lineup because I do expect that owner will come back in for Cuz. I'm going to fix that while I let you talk, Chan. But it sounds like you like this one for DFS though a little bit. For me, I'm not too in love with it, but let me hear what you think.
Well, I do have some narratives. So
okay, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, statistically speaking, I'm with you. I mean, they average, let's say, 1.45 combined kills per minute. So that's not very high, for both teams. But even though, I mean, Damwon has been playing pretty fast recently as of July. All the July games, they average the highest amongst all the states, amongst all the LCK teams on the slate. So yeah, I like the higher kill pace here compared to between these two teams. Now the narratives come in because as we talked about it, but T1 just fired those two head coaches. And they just started their new jungler and owner for the split. I feel like, like you said, I feel like they're going to start owner again. But I just feel like, there's that narrative. I think they just beat KT in their last series with owner at jungle, and they had 13 kills and then 16 kills. 16 is not too bad. And also combined with that Damwon's a higher kill pace recently, I like that matchup more than usual than I would have been. And also I heard that one of T1's upper management officers just passed away.
Yep.
I think it's COO,
Yep.
Chief Operating Officer. So, I'm just building some narratives that, that maybe T1 players will, maybe pull one out for them, for that guy or for the team and all. But it's just, T1 just has so many stories going on internally. And then they just posted some videos of the players, pretending to be happy and all after all these things happening. So who knows what the management is doing, but the players, obviously for DFS purposes, like what does this all mean, to T1, right? So I think T1 definitely has a chance. Statistically speaking, they actually are better than Damwon Kia in terms of like goal difference. And I think first tower rates and all that. So T1 definitely has a good chance, and that's why the odds are, real tight. I know Damwon, has been gaining form, and then they just lost to Nongshim, but you and I both think Nongshim, they're really good this year. So yeah. So that's not a knock on Damwon. So I just at the end, I feel like if I were to make a prediction, I like Damwon, but I do think T1 that will now with the new jungler and then, with the new AD carry, I feel like, they'll play a little more freely. And with all the narratives that I just mentioned, I just feel like this one maybe will have a tad higher kill upside. So this is the LCK matchup that I will definitely target. Unlike that other Genji versus Hanwha Life game. Whereas I feel like most people will target the Hanwha Life and they'll just see Hanwha Life and then, they'll flock to that LCK game as a potential LCK, stack. But I like this Damwon and T1 matchup here.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not feeling it for DFS, man. Like, I think either team winning, like at least T1, if you think T1 are going to win, you're going to get some decent salary savings by using their players. So I can get behind that. But when they met earlier in the split, it was a 2-1 for Damwon, and the highest amount of kills in any of the games was 17, which is okay. But it's when you add them up, it wasn't quite enough to get you there. So I don't think there's quite enough upside. I certainly could be wrong, but if you want to take a shot on T1 as the underdog and get some salary savings, I don't hate it. The series overall, I just don't love. Unfortunately.
I definitely would not play either team in cash because I feel like either team can easily win. So definitely just worth the GPP consideration only.
Yeah, for sure. The last series, Cham, the last one we need to talk about, best series on the slate, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
It's insanely exciting as well. We've got Top Esports, 6-3. They're in sixth place right now in China, and then we've got FPX, 7-3, tied for third place in China. This is a great one, man. On paper, two really good teams, two teams that are pretty strong right now. Top Esports are the slight favorite, so that means you get some salary savings by going to FPX. Who do you think's going to win? And I got to think, that this is one of, if not the best series to target as far as a combined kills per minute metric goes.
Yeah, this is the marquee matchup in terms of, League of Legends competition level. Top Esports has been, gaining form. Obviously, they proved me wrong the other day. And, it took all my money, basically. And then FPX, they've been so volatile lately. And, there is a little narrative about FPX that I'll just talk about in a minute. But yeah, I just feel like this is also the marquee matchup in terms of DFS kill upside. Top Esports has the combined kills per minute of 0.911, and then FPX has the combined kills per minute of 0.95. So combine those two, and then you have 1.86 combined kills per minute, which is the highest combined kills per minute matchup amongst all five games on the slate by far. So it's definitely the matchup you want to target. Now, who's going to win between these two? You know, I might have to fade Top Esports one freaking more time. I know it's going to bite me in the ass again, but I just feel like I don't know. I like Fun Plus Phoenix here. I like the matchup here. I know Nuguri sat out one series and came back in the last series where he just was so good. He was in that form. I just feel like where he was early in the split when they first started the split, he won the Player of the Week in week 1 and the early in the summer split. He just looked like that guy again. He looked motivated after sitting one game out. Maybe he was burnt out. Now, Doinb looked very happy with having Nuguri back in the top lane in form. Yep. Now, LWX and Shenny, I mean, he's starting again because Crisp Health has health conditions. But I just feel like with a couple series under his belt, Shenhe, I mean, he has been playing pretty well. He hasn't been making mistakes like some other rookie supports have been in the LPL. So I like FPX here. I just, in terms of the matchups individually, yeah, I mean, I like Nuguri over King Tian. Also, one narrative that I didn't mention earlier that I want to mention now is that it's Nuguri's birthday tomorrow.
The birthday buff.
You know it. So yeah, that's more powerful than the red and blue buff combined, right? In the map.
That's right.
So, anyway, so yeah, enough joking aside. I just feel like Fun Plus, yeah, I mean, I like them in terms of matchup. Now, statistically looking, yeah, I mean, they're all very good. I mean, they're both elite teams at this point in the split. I know Fun Plus Phoenix is superior in, let's say, jungle control percentage so far. So, I mean, Tian is starting. And there is rumor that Bo might be coming back very soon. So who knows what's going to happen there. But for now, I like this matchup. I like the roster here for FPX. And I just feel like Jackie Love's going to get caught out again many times. And Nuguri's going to get to the back line. I just feel like they're just going to be punished. So I just feel like FPX is better than who did probably it was a BLG, I think it was. Yeah. So yeah, I just feel like FPX is better than BLG, and I feel like FPX is going to win. I know they're the underdog, but you know, we'll see what happens here. So,
well, you know, I think, Chan, honestly, like either way you go, like if you get the winner from this series, you're going to be happy. So, you know, deciding who the winner is the hard part here. It's funny that you said you think FPX is better than BLG, though, because BLG just recently beat FPX 2-1. Mm-hmm. So it's, you know, but I do think despite that result, I do think FPX are still the better team. Like I would expect them to win if they meet in the playoffs or something like that. So it's on a knife's edge, man, this one. I'm going with FPX because I want them to win. You know, we both like FPX. We've talked about that before. I mean, it's razor close to call. I mean, Knight has been so great lately. He's the one that's going to carry Top Esports if they win. He's going to be the big reason why. You know, can Doinb neutralize him? Yes. But can he fully stop him? Who knows, man. But that'll be why Top wins, I think, if they win. I'm going to – I guess I favor FPX, but, man, I don't know. I mean, it's such a toss-up. It's going to be really a fun one to watch for sure.
Yeah, I'll probably have a lot of FPX lineups, but at the same time, I'll definitely have, you know, a couple Top Esports lineups here and there. So
I think that's smart because we both think whoever wins is going to be the highest scoring team on the slate probably. So right. I think that's a smart way to do it. Yeah, well, that's all the matchups for tomorrow. Chan, anything else you wanted to bring up before we go?
No, like I said, there's some narratives. I feel like today's video had a lot of narratives and a lot of theories, but you know, I like FPX here. I feel like we talked about, that's the marquee matchup that you want to target, for cash and for GPP purposes. Now for cash games, I think Rare Atom will definitely be popular. But in terms of the LCK matchups, yeah, I mean, I just feel like, you know, they're generally statistically lower in kill upside, but I like Damwon and T1 matchup here because of some narratives that I just mentioned. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But it's a 5-game slate, and I feel like just based on the fact that Rare Atom is the biggest favorite, but with a low kill upside for an LPL team, that will just make a very interesting slate for me, in my opinion, for GPP purposes.
Yeah, should be a good one. Should be a fun one for sure. These 5 gamers are a lot of fun, so looking forward to it. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please feel free to give us a like and subscribe to the channel. That'll keep you up to date on when we're going live. And then, of course, you can always go back and watch the videos on the RotoWire YouTube channel. And if you're into other sports, there's tons of content for other sports as well. Golf, baseball, UFC. Football is really going to start ramping up, so it's all there. Check it out. If you're interested in checking out RotoWire, you can go to rotowire.com/try for a free 10-day trial. No credit card required when you sign up. And then once you sign up, you can go to rotowire.com/chat. Excuse me. And you can join the subscriber-only Discord channel. That Discord channel is really, the esports one has really been popping off lately. So thank you to all of you that have joined and all of you that are making it a pretty happening place right now. So we're enjoying the discussion, that's for sure. So feel free to check those out. If you're on YouTube, there's links down below the video that'll take you right to where you need to be. Chan, thank you as always for joining me, man. Appreciate the advice and the conversation. I'll catch you tomorrow for Sunday's 5-game slate.
Sounds good. Good luck, everybody.